Alright guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio, and today we've got Oskar in the chair. How you doing, mate?
All good, mate, thank you.
Good man, good. So what are we doing today? What's the plan?
Try to keep a little bit of the length and maybe go for like a taper, something along those lines. So.
Okay. What sort of style are you trying to achieve? Because you got a lot of length at the back as well.
Yeah.
So are you going for like a mullet kind of effect? What is it?
I had that before, but I think I'm gonna sort of try something new now.
Okay. So what are you thinking new then? So obviously you want to keep some length and some of the curls on top. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of maybe a skin fade, taper, and just sort of neaten up the back really. Sort of like maybe take it off. But yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to taper the neck, you just want to taper the sides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe tape the neck, take it up a little bit. So.
Okay. Have you got any pictures of what you want?
I don't.
Seems like it's okay, because I see we're picking out bits of the haircut here. So so we've got the top sorted. Yeah. You want to keep some length in there. Do you want to exaggerate the curls? Do you want to make the curls better?
Can do. See.
Well, I mean, we have to cut it a certain way to kind of exaggerate. So when you come to style it yourself, how would you normally style your hair? What would you do?
Just sort of salt spray and.
Salt spray.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't really like to maintain it a lot. Just sort of get out of the shower.
Get out of the shower. So working with the curls will be a good thing then, because if you don't have to maintain it, you let the curls do their own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you want a skin taper on the sides? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what is this back bit? What are we doing? Because I feel like we're in a bit of no man's land at the back here.
Let's cut it.
Okay,
get rid of the mullet.
You want to get rid of the mullet? Okay. Yeah. So when you say. So if you look at it now, right, you've got a lot of shaved bits here, and then obviously it just comes into the back. Mm-hmm. When you say just cut it, do you want it to be like, obviously if we're doing the sides, you want the sides to be the back to be the same length as the sides, and then do the taper on both parts, or do you want to leave more length in the back and shape the neckline up? I mean, what are you thinking? Because either way, if you leave length at the back, it's going to look like a mullet. Yeah. So it depends whether you want what type of mullet you want, or whether you want to try and maybe have something which is a bit more, still a little bit of length at the back with a taper on the side. I mean, it depends what you're feeling.
Yeah. I'll let you just make a professional judgment, and just sort of take it off if you need,
Well, based on what you've told me, there's no point in you having length at the back, right? Yeah. You can have length here, but there's no point. Every single thing we do, whether we leave length at the bottom, is going to be a mullet or some variation of that, right? Because it could be a modern mullet or it could be something else. If we're doing skin on the sides, your hair's so dark, right? If you don't put a taper on the neck, everything's going to look like you're going a mullet on. Yeah. That's the reality of it, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're keeping length through the back, we need to know why, because if you're low maintenance, what's the point of this being here? If you want to be really, really low maintenance, get out of the shower and do nothing to it, then the look that you're going for, it doesn't really make sense why you'd want to keep length at the back. Like if you wanted to maintain some length, like say you like the length here, because that is very short compared to the top up just on these bits here. Yeah. If you're liking the length of here, you could cut that to the same length as the back and then taper the neck out. Or otherwise, we're just having a taper in the backs there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm just trying to fish into your brain to understand why you want it.
Like you said, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I'm going for it. Yeah.
Okay, so would you like to? What are you thinking about the sides here then, lengthwise? What are you thinking here? Because they've obviously been shaved really high. Yeah. What do you want to do with these bits here? Do you want to keep length in there? Do you want to, or do you want it to be really short on the back, on the sides as well? What are you thinking?
Kind of short. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Have you been going to a barber for years? I'm not really asking for anything.
No, when I go to my usual barber, he sort of knows what I want. But
that's what I mean. So he knows what you want. So obviously you're in the chair now with me, who I don't know what you want, right? Yeah. So obviously when you say kinda, I haven't got that rapport with you. I don't know what kinda means. Your other guy would know exactly what you mean, but I don't. So kinda could be my kinda's a 1. Your kinda might be a 4. You know. Yeah. So we want to try and narrow it down. I'm not trying to make it really like a science project. I just want to try and figure out exactly what you want, so I can give you the haircut that you want.
Let's go for maybe 0.5 sort of taper. Okay. Get rid of the back, no point of the length, and just keep the sort of curls on top.
Keep some of the curls on top. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll work. So the 0.5 taper. Yeah. So do you want the 0.5 to be the predominant length all the way around the back and sides, and then finish off on the edges with a 0, like a skin, or do you want it to be more faded from skin up into more
faded from skin
up? Right. Okay. So we'll use the skin and then we'll blend it up into. I would probably say you want to keep the darkness in there. So I'd probably say like a 3, 4, something like that maybe, because you can keep some darkness and the taper kind of stand out a bit more then as well. Do you want to put the 4 all the way around the back and sides? Is that what we're definitely doing? We're taking the back off, we're matching to the sides, yeah? 100%?
Yeah.
And then we can do a nice skin taper on the neck as well. Yeah? And then cut into the top, make sure it's all even. Yeah. And make sure it's kind of falling out into the right way, because I think that side's, it looks quite even actually. Yeah. But yeah, we can take some off the top and just connect it all in. All right, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
100%?
Yeah.
Sweet, all right, man.
Got there in the end.
Got there in the end, man. No, it is hard. I get it when you know when you've been to you've been to a barber for so long.
Yeah.
You don't need to ask these questions I'm asking you probably aren't getting asked to you anymore. So it's a bit like, oh, deer in the headlights. I don't even know what I normally ask for. So it's hard when you've got that rapport with somebody. But yeah, it can seem really like a very in-depth situation. But the only reason I try and get in-depth with you is because I've never met you before. I don't know what you're gonna. I don't really know. Like if you're not used to saying what you want, or you're just used to kind of saying just trim it down. You've got that he's got that understanding with you. I've got it with regulars of mine. You know what I mean? Right, guys. So just shampooed and conditioned Oscar's hair. Now, obviously, through the consultation, we've kind of come down to the fact that there is no point in having the back. He's bored of the mullet. He wants something. I don't know if you caught this actually on camera, but you said you wanted something a bit more professional, didn't you? So it kind of works well. Having a taper is a perfect thing. Working with them curls, I can show them how to manage the curls a bit easier as well. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with cutting the back and sides in first. So, because I want to maintain the top, we won't just trim the top down. So I'll let Oscar decide on the length on the top. You know what you want. I'll let you do that. You just leave me in charge of putting the shape in. But yeah, we were just talking. Then it's one of those. I remember what that was like when you go to like the one barber for ages. Yeah. And then you kind of don't really know what to ask for, do you? You're a bit like, oh no. I mean, I haven't been asked these questions for ages.
I know you had me like confused. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, we got there in the end.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah. You do. Yeah. You always do. All you got to do when you're doing a consultation is just figure out why you want a certain thing. That's all. And that's all I want to try and figure out with you. Like, if you want everything you were telling me was gearing towards not having the mullet, right? Because you were saying low maintenance, you want to get up out the shower, do nothing to it. You're always going to have to do something to the back, because the more hair you have to style, the more effort it becomes, right? So if you want low maintenance, just have something nice and short on the back and sides, and let the curls do the talking. Let them be the focal point of the haircut. And then obviously the taper is always a lovely addition to a haircut like this. It makes it kind of stand out. It gives you a bit of something else to it. You know what I mean? And then obviously you can, like you said, you've got a bit more of a professional image that you want to portray. So I think a mullet, unfortunately, isn't one of those. I love them. I love mullets, and I love doing them, but they're not the most professional haircuts, are they? You know what I mean? Unless you worked in a surf shack, you know what I mean? That was your kind of thing. I'm stereotyping there, but it is, it's a certain type of industry. Like my job. It doesn't matter what my hair's like, at the end of the day. But what made you go down the mullet route then? How did it happen? Did you just keep getting the sides cut or something?
No, like my friends kept telling me that it would sort of look good on me, so just decided to go for it.
If you fancy something for the summer, you know what you could do, which would be quite cool for your hair. Yeah. Have you ever seen the term burst fade?
Burst fade, I think
where you kind of shave around here and leave a little bit of length at the back. It doesn't have to be long, you see. So if you were going to go short on the top, you could probably go short on the back with that as well, and that could give you a little bit of it's not a mullet, but it's quite similar in a way,
That's what I was sort of getting when I was sort of growing out.
Oh, were you getting around the edges done, yeah? But you sure you want to lose the mullet? 100%?
Yeah.
You're not going to disappoint your mates?
No.
You sure?
No regrets.
I can't help but think of that tattoo when someone says that,
I know.
If anyone knows what I'm referring to, leave a comment. Just write no regrets in there for me. So, number 4 is a really nice length because look, alright, it's short, but it hasn't lost the darkness, which then I find brings that taper out really nicely. Plus, keeping a bit of length on top as well. It's always nice to have a little bit more to blend in with, because on the side it's quite a high finish on the side. I'm not too sure what the look was, why that was so high. Obviously it was there for a reason, I guess. So obviously it's gone quite high up, probably to emphasise the back, I would imagine, to work with the curl on top. But I think when you're maintaining a bit of length on the top, you always want to maintain a bit of shape on the sides, because your face shape, you've got a really good face shape of keeping a bit of hair on the top like that. It's very straight up, right? So you can get away with going fairly high on the sides. You've got that little concave there. You've got a very square face shape. So you're very lucky in terms of looks that you can go for. Back, keeping length at the back works for the face shape as well. So you're blessed with the face shape there. So you can, square tends to be the one that you can kind of achieve most of the looks with, regardless of length, you know. So have you always known you've got curls, or have the curls come on a later date?
I don't know, I used to have like really long straight hair, but I started like conditioning more, and yeah, the curls started coming out.
So you started looking after it a bit more, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So what's your routine like now? Have you got a particular routine to your hair?
I sort of tend to wash it daily because like I'm sort of active, so when I like go to the gym I'll sweat a lot, so...
And what makes you think you have to wash your hair after sweat?
Don't know, I just feel like clean after it, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But
fair enough.
just shampoo, conditioner and a bit of salt spray. That's
so just a very easy thing to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried any other products other than a salt spray?
I've
like
tried
a curl lotion or a curl cream or something like that?
Sort of a little bit, but I don't like how it sort of makes your hair oily. So like when I washed it as well, it would sort of just not feel right when I'm washing. It wouldn't lather up the sort of shampoo.
Yeah.
So
it just absorbs it a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, have you ever tried like a styling, like sort of lotion or like a cream or something in your hair before? Not like a curl cream, one that's more for like, you know, just to bring out a bit of texture and a bit of definition.
Not really, no.
Okay, I'll put one on at the end. Okay, but it's without the dryness that a salt spray brings. So salt spray tends to bring in like that kind of dry, beachy, kind of salty dryness to it. Whereas certain lotions and creams don't do that. They kind of give you a very natural finish, a little bit more weight to it, but also they give a nice look and feel to the hair. So let me know what you think. Try using a tonic.
A tonic?
Yeah, a tonic will, if you want your hair to feel refreshed, but you don't want to strip it of its oils, a tonic is great for the scalp, because all you need to do is refresh the scalp really. The hair itself won't, like sweat, it doesn't smell, right? It's only where it builds up, it smells, like the armpits and anywhere that's enclosed, right? So when people wash the hair after the gym, it's a pure placebo effect, right? Yeah. So when you do go to the gym, try, if you can next time, just using water and getting yourself a tonic. And you splash the tonic onto your scalp, and then you basically give it a good rub, and then you just rinse it off. Or just, you can get out the shower with it straight on like that if you want to. And what you'll find is that you'll feel just as refreshed, but you're not actually like, you're actually cleaning the scalp a bit more than the hair, which sometimes you need to do more so than anything else. Yeah. So maybe give that a go, see if you can add that into your routine.
Yeah, I'll have a look into it.
Yeah, tonics are great, mate. They're really good. They're good to like kind of work on, like anyway, if you've got like a dry scalp or something like that. You can get toners as well, which are good for the scalp too. Yeah. But there's enough properties in them that will just give your hair that little bit of a refreshed feel without stripping the oils out, you know, which is what you don't want to do. You don't want to strip the oils out. That's what tends to happen if you wash your hair too much, is you tend to strip the oils out a bit too much. So if you can, try obviously, if you're going to use conditioner, shampoo and conditioner, you have to use them together. It's a bit like me giving you a moisturiser to wash your face with in the shower. You probably think I'm mad, right? It's kind of what you're doing with a conditioner in a sense, you know. Obviously not to that effect, but if you looked at the two, if you combine the two, so yeah, I think you'd benefit from a tonic or a toner at least, especially if you're active as well. So I'm just putting the lining on the 4, just like that. Now I'm going to blend the number 4 in with some clipper over comb, and then I'm going to taper out the sides. So just starting from the back. As you can see, because we're keeping some length at the top, I'm still keeping some length through this top of here as well. So I'm elevating the hair up, which takes a lot less hair out. It starts to build up that squareness in the side. So if we do tend to, if we do leave, you know, a fair amount on the top, then it's also going to blend in. If we take loads off, it's still going to look all right. So it's a nice way to do it. That's why I like starting from the back. I know I've touched on this quite a bit, but I think starting from the back just gives me a bit more of a view to where I'm blending in, which is nice. Right, so let's start on our taper. So start on my guard. So 1/2 guard, open, and work this up and off. And this is my little kind of palette here now. This is my sort of, my drawing. So from the 1/2 up is done. This is all done, right? So we can purely focus now on the taper. So I'm using the back of the head, this little dip here where the occipital bone is, to work the 1/2 up and off to. And because you're pulling away like this, it keeps it nice and seamless. While we're still here, we've got our comb, which goes down to 1/2, and we can blend this up into our 4, like so. On the 1/2, up and off, like so. Close the lever until you're fully closed, up and off. You can see the action I'm doing is right all in the wrist, like that. So that's the 0 into the 0.5. Moving on to our 1 guard, 1/2, open. This cuts a little bit shorter than what the 1/2 guard does. So we can right up to that 1/2 guard. And then close the 1 and stretch that blend out like that. Just back onto the open blade and just refining the graduation into the 1. Finish off with your trimmers, and then your 1 comb, work that up into the 1/2. And switch combs. And work this up and off. Blend that 1/2 into the 4. And just using the corner. So onto the sideburns now. 1/2 guard on first. And just really work this up and off. Through the lever. Until you get down to nothing. 1 guard on. Like that up and out, using the corner. Now at the top, how much do you want to lose at the top, mate? Do you want to lose a lot, or do you want to keep a lot of the curl?
Like midway in between them two, so I don't want to go too short, but I also want to keep a little bit of the length.
Okay. So what we could do is we could connect the top in into the sides, so that's all connected. And as we get to the middle, you can pick the length you want to go to. Cool. All right, yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'm going to brush this all back, and I'm going to start on the right hand side, and I'm just going to connect this in to here. So because I'm not going very short, the sections are getting wider. Bring this down. So you see the first section's fairly wide, because we're trying to keep a lot of length through there. So we're doing like 4 sections from the side, from the connection point into just past the centre. Out like that. Connecting the fringe in at the same time. Connecting them through this crown bit at the back. One more just before the centre. See, it's worth doing, even just for these little bits here. We know the other section's not going to work. Wide section again. Pull this down into the sides. Another section. There's nothing really coming off this one now, apart from towards the back, but we'll leave that in a second. Now what we'll do is we'll come out from the crown and we'll connect it in from the crown, okay? Down and across. Pull this right out, not much is coming off. So the last but not least, what we need to do now is just put the length you want to remove off the full top. So we connected all that in. Now, in terms of length, how much would you like to lose? You can lose as much as you like, so do you want to lose about like that? Is that too little or is that enough? What do you think?
I don't know, what do you think?
You want to keep the curls in, you need to go on a bit longer. As in like that would be the maximum I would take off, because if you're trying to keep curls, the longer the curls, the better it is and the easier it is to manage. If you take the curls away, they don't become curls, become waves. So it falls in your front, it doesn't stay where you want it to. So if I was you, I would take off about that.
Yeah, let's do that then.
You see that, yeah? Sure, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on.
Listen to the pro, eh?
No, the reason for that is, again, because of your curl, your texture, you want to keep the curl, right? So if the shorter you go, you'll probably cut the curl away, right? Yeah. Now, if we cut the curl away, then it's going to be very hard to manage, because then you're going to have to be fighting for that curl back, which becomes, again, not like an enjoyable experience, because it'll just fall into your face, it'll be wavy, it won't have a real structure, it'll just be a lump of hair on the top with no real style, you know what I mean? Whereas now you've got the curls, they're a style, you know, they are something. So by keeping them in there, and we can exaggerate them a little bit in a minute as well, and really work with the curls, then that's going to look better and easier to manage as well. So the low maintenance element is much easier when you've got longer hair and curls. Yeah. So your fringe down a touch as well. It's not really going to wear this fringe down. This is more just about a connection point and just something to blend in and match in. So we can just pull the fringe right away. Them sections won't reach the fringe anyway, so. And just run the razor through this a tiny bit as well. Just pick little bits out, just to texturise. This will spiral the curl and give you a bit of texture in there. But we can use this to, as we spiral it, we take bits away and it just creates a nice little bit of movement and a nice bit of shape in the hair as well. Just like that. You can have a little once over around the back and sides, and then bit of over comb. That's pretty much it, mate.
Yeah, it's looking good.
You happy with the length, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, man. There you go, mate. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'll put a little bit of lotion in for you. It's like a texture lotion, right? What it does, it gives you a little bit of movement, it gives you body kind of volume, but it gives you what the salt spray does, but better. Yeah. In a way that it doesn't look dry when you're styling. Okay. Dry it off to probably only for a few minutes now, just to get the curls to come back. What you do is literally high heat, low speed. Just like that, just to define them out. And that's it, mate. Just like that. So you've got a nice curl going through the top now, some length in there, and then you've got So your crown's in play, the mullet is gone, and the taper's been brought in.
Looking
nice
good.
and square, nice and tight, nice and high.
Yeah.
And there's the shape on the top, so everything just falls in really nicely.
Yeah. Loving it.
Happy, yeah?
Yeah, very nice.
Nice, man. Thank you very much.